Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk Hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Welcome back, hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We have Jeff from Cedros Adventures right here in the studio talking about that amazing place to go fishing and in Cedros Island. It's a beautiful spot, and you've heard all about it. And it's time to jump into the Catch Report. And the Catch Report today is sponsored by the Sato Crimp and Winder Company, where they only make products that work. Hey, you want to end connection failures? You need the Sato Crimp Clip. This thing works so well. It's so easy. It's the must-have piece of gear for your trip to catch everything from the local tuna here to record-sized tuna. And they have all brass crimps now. It's better than ever. It's an easy process. It's the favorite connection method on all the long-range boats. Royal Star, Royal Polaris, American Angler, everything. If you don't have it, make it your preferred connection system for Spectrum Mono or fluorocarbon. Get it at selected tackle stores like Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the Longfin and Orange, or SatoCrimpandWinder.com. Let's start up at Whalers Cove in Angoon, Alaska. Captain John's online. Good morning, John.
Well, hey, Pete, fishing here has been really, really good. I'll give you an example. In the last 4 days, I have given out more 100-pound hats than I have at any other time this season. It's been phenomenal.
Wow.
We've also been catching lots and lots of coho. In fact, 2 days ago, we had 544 fish come to the dock.
Oh,
and that is a big day.
It's a big day. The processors were working overtime on that one.
Oh, they were going till at least 3 in the morning. My sister and brother-in-law have been self-guiding here for the last 4 days, and they just crushed it. They got their 12 coho every day. They got their 2 halibut each every day. And yesterday they limited on 14-pound kings. We also had somebody that turned loose a 30-pound king yesterday because they already had their fish. I mean, imagine that. You've already got a king in the box, and you get another big one, and you got to let it go.
Oh, man, I wish we had that problem.
Call that a quality problem.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and, I had a guest the other day get a 138-pound halibut. We let that go. And then yesterday we had an 83-pound halibut we let go. And, of course, we're catching our average-size keepers and just having a good time. It's been phenomenal. We're looking forward to the next 3 weeks. Well, we've got 20 days left. So if somebody wants to try and get up here, there might be a spot or two left. So it's up to them to decide if they want to come up to Paradise and fish at Whalers Cove Lodge.
Yeah, certainly booking for the 2016 season. I know our trip in August of 2016, you have the option of a 3-day, a 4-day, or a 7-day. It's all on our website, hookup1090.com on the trips page. But that trip is already like over half filled for 2016. So don't wait, because Whalers Cove has been discovered now.
Right.
Thanks to John and all his reports and all the good attention they've gotten. And then people have figured out this place is paradise. It's a fishing paradise for sure. And I might also add on the front page of our website, hookup1090.com, is a great story written by Carlos, Team No Bananas, and some photos of our recent experience at Whalers Cove Lodge. It's on the front page. You'll have to check that out, John.
Yeah, I will, as soon as I get some good internet service in 20 days when I get home.
There you go.
Yeah, in fact, I'll write something up for you for your page there from a guide's perspective. But it's been a great season, and like I said, we've got 20 days left. But if people want to try and get up here before the season's ending, and by the way, now's the time for the people who like to go freshwater, this is the time to do it. So if you want a combination of saltwater and freshwater, boy, this is the time of year to do it. Check out WhalersCoveLodge.com. That's WhalersCoveLodge.com. Or call us here at 1-800-423-3123, 1-800-423-3123, and I'll talk to you next week, Pete.
Awesome.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Great report. Appreciate that very much. I got to say real fast, talking about that Whalers Cove report, I just saw the pictures that you were talking about in that great article that Carlos wrote of Harold Davis holding that yellow eye. Dude, that is a nice serious
He caught
yellow
two
eye.
of those that size.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
very cool report. That's cool. And great story from Carlos.
Yeah,
too.
Carlos
awesome.
did a great job and really a lot of fun. I'm working on a YouTube video. It's going to take some time because I took so much video up there. I got
too much to go through. That's cool.
Oh man, yeah.
Very cool. Hey, well, let's continue with our catch report. We're going to talk to the man, our private motor buddy and FishDope.com reporter, Captain Mark Wish of Pacific Edge. What's up, Mark?
Hey, good morning, Rick. Good morning, Pete and Jeff. Well, another crazy good week here in our Summer Saga 2015. Man, let me just hit a very few of the highlights. So just yesterday afternoon, I delivered a beautiful custom bait tank to one of our customers down there in Newport Beach, and I was kind of standing there at the marina looking around, and I have 3 boats sitting side by each, and collectively they're flying 13 marlin flags. Man, that's just good fishing, guys. That fish is ganged up above Santa Barbara Island. The general area is from a little 63 fathom shallow up to the 175, down to the 172, and now down to the 125. There's some good fishing there a few days back, too. But a lot of that fish is up in the jigs and biting the drop backs. You know, they're not seeing all that much on some days. You got to be watching those jigs and ready on that drop back. But it's been very, very, very good fishing up that way. Also, kind of in that zone, a little below there, below Santa Barbara Island, there's a very strong break, very hard edge, like 2 degrees in a mile or two. The upper edge is kind of between the 499 and the 125, and then it hooks around down outside the Farnsworth. For you guys looking to get away from the boats and target that good grade bluefin with very little competition around, that's the zone to be looking at. That fish has been up there for a little bit, kind of moving up and down that break there. There's some nice ones hanging out there. And also, speaking of bluefin, those tankers showed up again down around that 289 to the 43 zone. There has been some crazy stories coming out here this past week or so of fish over 200 pounds tearing up tackle and breaking some hearts in there, let me tell you. And in terms of more catchable size tuna, thank God that yellowfin is really biting good closer to home. The upper edge is just below Dana Point. The lower edge, who knows where the lower edge is really, but the epicenter has been kind of in that Oceanside, Encinitas, Carlsbad zone there, 6 to maybe 15 off the beach. Very large volume of fish in there. You don't have to get all ganged up with everybody else. You can find a little meter mark or stop on a bird or two that are turning around and throw some chum and start your chunk line. Definitely start your chunk line. They're biting the chunks really good, guys. And it's been really good fishing, and a lot of nice Dorados are mixed into that area also. And then for you guys staying a little bit closer to home, those big yellows are really biting here all along the coast. We fished out on that 150, 105 zone here a few days back. Man, we just walloped them nice ones. God, there's just a ton of fish in that zone. And then also on the horseshoe, and this to me is a really good sign. I haven't seen this in a really, really long time. Warm, clean water washed into that horseshoe, and the 3 Bs, which a lot of you guys have probably never even heard of people talk of the 3 Bs, bass, bonita, and barracuda. They're biting, man. That nice big bonita moved in there. Limit the calico bass for some of the guys yesterday with a good mix of barracuda in there. It's just really good local fishing and just a good sign that things are improving everywhere. Man, it's just good.
Yeah, it's just crazy. You know, Mark, here's the crazy thing. You mentioned the chunk, and this is like, I've never seen this, and it's like you talk about chunk, it's like that is the stuff. I took Mike Lum, Tim Baker from Fred Hall, and Brad from Rapala fishing on Tuesday on my boat, and we had beautiful.
Thank you.
We had beautiful sardine from the Everingham brothers, and we had fish boiling all around the boat, and couldn't get a bite on the Dean. Tim looks down and he sees yellowfin tuna eating our chunk. You know, we've got a steady chunk line going, you know, to keep the fish around the boat. Looks down and goes, look at all the fish. I go, well, somebody should put a chunk on. Instant bite, instant 4-way for all 4 of us
on the chunk.
And on the chunk. But still couldn't get a bite on the live Dean, and so I just started throwing a lot of live Dean because we had a bunch, and still couldn't get a bite on the Dean. They'd only eat the chunk, so whatever, right?
Go figure. But this has been the year of the chunk, and I've heard stories like that just continually. So for whatever reason, guys, it's probably a good reason to fish the chunk.
Yeah, fish the chunk, you know, and don't fish light line. Fish 40-pound or something like that.
40-pound, a little like a 1 or 2-0 circle hook.
That's it, bro. They are biting.
Yeah. So Mark, great stuff there, and of course, FishDope.com. all the reports that you do and everybody else does on Fish Dope keeps you in tune with what's going on, like that technique. And you can save $20 right now on fishdope.com. If you don't have it by now, come on, guys. You got to have Fish Dope. It's a 1-year membership. It's good till next year at this time. Save $20 on a new membership to fishdope.com by using the code Hookup now. It's all lowercase, no space. And how do we find you?
Pete, we're on the corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger in Huntington Beach. Phone number is area code 714-840-4262. The website, PacificEdgeTackle.com. And I'm going to go catch a marlin tomorrow.
Good luck.
Are we going to have a wahoo in the catch report by next week, Mark?
Well,
not in the sea report, not in the visual report. I'm talking a catch report. I want to see a picture one on the deck. You think it'll happen by next week?
I do. I do.
There it is.
That's so rad.
Right
I
there.
was going to say something in the report here, but I just kind of opted out. Instead of the, fish have been seen here and there, I'm going to hold out until dead fish on the deck with a picture.
I'm ready, buddy. It's
right.
on.
But I think it's coming soon, guys, because they are definitely seeing a few around.
Thanks, Mark.
Talk to you next week. Appreciate that.
All right, let's head on down to San Diego over to C4 Sport Fishing. Dr. Buddy Marcos. Marcos, another crazy good week at Seaforth.
I guess.
This
is all right.
So wait. Before you start, am I reading the report right that the half-day guys are loading up on yellowfin tuna?
They are loading up on yellowfin tuna.
Half-day.
Yeah,
trip.
not three-quarter day, which is crazy. Not, the fact that the three-quarter day is killing them, which just on that you're having huge days on three-quarter day. Half-day boat. We're talking leave in the morning, be back at 11:30 to pick up passengers, half-day boat. Killing them.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's one of those years. It's kind of like what we talked about earlier. We knew it was going to happen, but it was better than what we expected. Going back to earlier in the week, I guess we can go through the counts here. Slow start Monday, 11 yellowfin, 8 dorado, 1 skipjack.
That's a half day, mind you.
On a half day. That was a slow start. Don't get me wrong. Tuesday, struck out. Wednesday, 36 anglers had 80 yellowfin.
On a half day.
Thursday, 67 anglers had 73 yellowfin and 3 skipjack.
Whoa.
Yesterday, 75 anglers, 115 yellowfin and 8 skipjack.
Morning or afternoon or both?
That's all morning right now. He's going out looking for them in the morning. The afternoon, he's heading up to La Jolla, and even those counts are pretty good. Yesterday, 35 anglers had 4 yellowtail, 9 bonita. They kept 51 calico bass, 3 sand bass, 10 rockfish. So really good fishing.
So cool.
A little bit overshadowed by the 115 yellowfin in the morning.
Yeah.
What a crazy thing that's going on, Marcos. And good job for those guys. I mean, you want to talk about, that's a gutsy move for, RJ and Brian and those guys driving that boat. That's not a lot of time to get bait, get offshore, make a catch that big, and get back in time for the afternoon ride to gun. So good on those guys for putting together some rad scores of fish. That is so cool to see.
They're doing great out there and a lot of fun. And, it's still, like you said, a tough trip. You're going out there, you better be ready to fish, get your gear together, even, as long as you're ready to know what to expect. Guys are having a lot of fun. And like I said, those afternoon trips, those are actually really good counts.
Yeah, great.
Thursday afternoon, they had 17 yellowtail Thursday afternoon, which 17 yellowtail, 11 bonita, 57 calico bass. Any other year, that'd be a spectacular count. And this year, it's kind of like,
yeah, good job.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
And then, of course, the three-quarter day, those guys are still going out there and killing them. Both our six-pack boats, just going out there, limits of yellowfin, a lot of dorado in the mix, skipjack, still seeing some yellowtail in there, and those counts have just been spectacular. And obviously a little more consistent this year than the half day has been, but, if you don't have the time to run a three-quarter day, come out in the morning and get a shot at them. As long as you're not expecting to have some leisurely fishing, do a little bit of fishing here and there, you're going to go out there and you're going to get into those fish and have a good time there. The overnight trip's the same. A lot of yellowfin, dorado, skipjack, yellowtail, about what you'd expect this time of the year, and great fishing all around. So definitely check the website, seaforthlanding.com. And as of right now, those morning trips are going out looking for the yellowfin on the half day. The afternoon trips going up to the kelp beds looking for yellowtail, bonita, barracuda, bass. Can't go wrong on either one of those trips right now. Still a lot of three-quarter days. San Diego and Sea Watch are running every day. We have a trip available. Weekends are tough, but plenty of room during the week. Those overnight trips, we're running, again, every day we can. We've got trips going out most days. Sometimes the weekends are a little tough. And like we've talked about in previous years, September, October is great fishing, so you can plan ahead there. It's rare for us not to have good fishing there. And
September, October.
That's when it's supposed to start happening.
What could happen?
It's supposed to start right about now.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, but if it's going by any other year and going by the grade this year, you still got a lot of fishing left to do there. So definitely check out the website, seaforthlanding.com. You can make your reservations online, which isn't a bad idea. The phones are ringing off the hook here. It might be a little bit before we can get to your call. So if you see 1 or 2 spots open there, just grab them online. It's a little bit quicker for you guys. And it's the same thing that we do here. Just you can type in your own information. You can always call us at the office, 619-224-3383. More than happy to get you guys set up, get you out there fishing.
Marcos, how far in advance does somebody need to plan if they're going to book a trip to go get in on this good tuna fishing right now?
For those half days, we're booked through the weekend there on those morning trips. Monday's filling up. You got to give yourself a few days there. And I know the first couple of days is a little touch and go, people waiting to see what it is. But give yourself as much time as you can. Those 3-quarter days are usually filling up, anywhere from 2-3 days in advance to a week in advance, especially if you want to go on the weekends. If you're looking at any kind of weekend trip, call as soon as you can because those fill up really quick.
All right,
overnight.
Thanks, Marcos. Appreciate that report, and we will talk to you next Saturday.
We'll talk to you then, guys.
All right, appreciate that.
All right, that's going to, again, wrap up our Catch Report today, sponsored in part by Job Site Supply, specializing in the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing trades. With lines like Milwaukee Electric Tools, we personally know these guys and have fished with them, too. They are hardcore anglers, and they're serious about dependable job site delivery and the best in Milwaukee tools. Check JobSiteSupply.com for
They're
more
going
details.
to Whalers Cove right now.
I was going to say, if you want to talk about hardcore and going fishing, I mean, they're exactly where you were last week right now, right?
Yeah,
that's cool.
At Whalers Cove, catching fish, catching all those. It sounds like it's even better than when we were there. Wow. Let's go ahead and jump back into the jam-packed phone lines. We failed to mention that you have a chance to win a pair of Maui Jim sunglasses. It's the new World Cup with the Mahi Mahi frame. It's a totally cool frame. And the Maui HT lens. It's the latest style, and they have that pair as well as some of the other ones, the Redfish frame and the other with the Piahi lens size. They're all in stock right now at Dana Landing in Mission Bay. So you want to check out the new style Maui Jims down at Dana Landing. They've got them.
Kenny in Hawaiian Gardens, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning, Kenny.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Hey, if one was to take a trip down to Cedros and wanted to target like a very large trophy sheep's head, how would you do it besides diving? And do you have big ones down there?
Oh, yeah.
There's some big goats. I would say just fish the structure spot, just as you would do anywhere up here. Dropper, loop rig, maybe some small shrimps or cut squid or something like that.
We were catching them on plastic.
Plastic?
Yeah.
Yeah, anything down there, we fish very, very similar tactics as you utilize here in Southern California waters. It's very much the same in regards to the type of fishing.
That's, I think, what makes the trip so cool is it's the same thing that you're used to, just so much more and so bigger. It's on steroids, exactly. I mean, it's the fishing for yellowtail's the same, except instead of catching 15-pounders, you're catching 40-pounders. It's just like calico bass fishing. Instead of catching 12 to 14 inches, you're catching 3 and 4 and 5-pounders, and you have shots at 6s and 7s and 8s and 9s and 10. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Kenny, you should go with Rick on Labor Day. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
Next up, let's talk to Wyatt. Wyatt's calling us from Long Beach this morning. Good morning, Wyatt. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Wyatt.
Good morning.
I was wondering, what were they catching the yellows on in Cedros?
Mackerel, slow trolled mackerel, and
just fly lining.
What we do is we'll slow troll until we start finding the area and getting bit, and then at that point we'll fly line the mackerel. Yeah.
And we also caught them on surface iron. You can catch them on surface iron, catch them on yo-yo iron, flat fall. Caught a couple on the flat fall. Yeah,
that's cool.
So it's kind of very similar tactics to here, but to get the real big ones, the 40-pounders and the 40-plus pounders, usually come on the slow troll mackerel or the surface iron.
How's the bait on the boat? You talk about fishing mackerel, and you guys have bait tanks, ability to carry live bait, all that kind of stuff. Maybe touch on that.
Yeah, live wells. It probably hold about a scoop.
That's cool.
Yeah,
about a scoop.
Plenty of bait.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's
For
legitimate, full recycling live wells too.
Yes.
It's very good bait. Yeah.
3 guys on the pongas, so you're fishing right off the beach anyway. You're not at any time very long run.
Mm-hmm. And that's the first process in the morning is to go catch bait.
Yeah, but should you need to re-up, it's generally a short boat ride.
Yeah, indeed. Hey, Wyatt, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, you should go. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. That is free up for the first time all morning.
Seriously.
858-457-1090. A line open there and a line open at 877-792-1090. You want to have a chance to win that pair of Maui Jim Sunglasses, the new World Cup with the new Mahi frame. There is your shot.
Ari in Venice Beach, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning, Ari.
How you doing this morning, guys?
Great.
Awesome. I had a question for Jeff, but first I wanted to thank Rick and Pete for explaining to me how to fish the chunk. I was in Dana Point yesterday, and I buried the hook in the chunk, threw a handful of chunks out, and within 5 pulls of the string, I got bit by a yellowfin tuna.
Sweet. Ari, nice going, man. That's awesome.
Yep, and fishdope.com put me right on game, put me right on the spot, and I just wanted to thank you guys. And the question I have for Jeff is there hiking over there in some higher parts of the mountain? I wanted to bring my wife, maybe, so just asking that.
Oh, yeah, there's quite a bit of terrain there that you can explore while on the island.
You know who really knows that stuff is Purple. Because I was quizzing him about. Yeah, I was quizzing him. He's the manager. Purple is the manager down there, and he basically grew up down there, and he knows that island backwards and forwards, and they could take you up into the mountains on one of their trucks and show you some amazing spots. And there's nothing. I mean, there's even pine trees at the higher elevations too. So it's pretty. It's a big island, and yeah, if you want to hike, there's plenty of places.
There's 4 freshwater springs.
Four freshwater springs that come and feed the town of Cedros. Yeah. And I was asking about that. I go, what about water? You know, we're in a drought. He goes, we have no worries with water here because there's 4 springs that come into town here.
Wow, that's awesome. I had no idea any of that stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. Have a
all right, way to go on the yellowfin, on the chunk. Way to get them. Appreciate the call this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More phone calls, more great information with Jeff from Cedros Adventures. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup, Mighty 1090. Everyone likes special treatment, you know, kind of feel like a VIP. Well, that's how our listeners are treated at Poway Valley Collision. I have personally heard of several stories of how well our friends Jim and Mary take care of their customers that we sent them. Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. We know you may not need them today, but when accidents happen, it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. And listen to this. Our listeners get a special discount that can save you hundreds of dollars on your car or truck repair. Just tell them you listen to the show and you get the deal. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, Wawanesa, and more. Just bring your car or truck to them and let Poway Valley Collision do the rest. I have had my truck repaired at Poway Valley Collision, and the job was perfect. So get your vehicle fixed right at Poway Valley Collision. Tell them you listen to Let's Talk Hookup, and they'll save you money on your repair. Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com.
It's time for our Power Pro 60-second seminar on your next fishing trip. Be sure to get the Power Pro Advantage. And the advantage when you're talking about hollow is Power Pro Hollow Ace. Nothing like it.
No, we talked about it earlier this morning, and it is. It's the easiest line to work with. Hollow Ace is a 16-carrier braided Spectra line. So basically there are more strands that make up the weave than there are in most of the other hollow Spectras out there. And what that gives you is a very slick feel, very nice on the reel, but way more importantly, it is very easy to work with. If you want to do a Sato crimp, if you want to whip a loop into your line, if you want to make any of those insert-style connections, Hollow Ace will make the job so much easier, and it's stronger. It's the best braided hollow Spectra out there, period.
And Rick was talking about if you're filling a normal-size reel, rather than putting solid on, put the Power Pro Hollow Ace on it, and you have a lot more versatility on it.
You do, and should you have an issue where the Spectra, you wrap it in the prop, you break off down in the middle line. With hollow line, you can splice new hollow to the old hollow, wind it right back on, and you will never even see the seamless connection.
That's it. Power Pro Hollow Ace at your favorite tackle store. Check out PowerPro.com.
If you've heard the advice Scott Sherman from Fifth Avenue Insurance has given anglers over the past couple of years, you know there is much more to your boat insurance than just a low rate. Well, Fifth Avenue Insurance can not only find you the lowest rates on your boat insurance, they also make sure the coverage you get meets all your needs. What if you had an accident with the boat and found out you didn't have proper coverage? Well, that just won't happen when you insure with Fifth Avenue Insurance. Call them for advice on your current boat policy or any of your insurance needs. Fifth Avenue Insurance, 619-640-3130, or check the number 5 THAVEINS.com.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. A spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or a fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
What a tuna and yellowtail season last year. Many say the best in 30 years. Could this season be even better? Don't be caught without the right gear. Now is the time to stock up on the trolling lure that proved to be the best. X-Rap Magnum by Rapala. Every X-Rap Magnum runs perfect right out of the box. They all have extreme action and a controlled deep diving aggressive swimming motion. The large diving lip partners with premium VMC hooks and an irresistible rattle. The X-Rap Magnum by Rapala can be trolled at high speeds without rolling or kicking out at depths to 15 feet. Bottom line, the X-Rap Magnum is the ultimate trolling lure for Southern California and Baja saltwater fishing. With a textured translucent body, internal holographic foil, and 3D holographic eye, X-Rap Magnums are irresistible to saltwater game fish. Available in a variety of colors and sizes. No matter what you choose, the fish can't resist X-Rap Magnum by Rapala. Ask your local tackle dealer which is the hottest color and size and start catching more fish. See the entire line at Rapala.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
All right, phones are packed up. They want to talk to Jeff the Cedros Adventures, but once again, I want to remind you, if you want to go on Rick's trip, leaves Labor Day the 7th of September, comes back Friday the 11th. Perfect time. You don't have to take 4 days off of work. You come back, you have the weekend to recover. How about that? There's 5 spots left. We're at the beginning of the show. I think they're starting to fill out. But you just call Jeff to grab one of those spots, 323-864-3433, or Jeff at CedrosAdventures.com. Give us a lowdown on the all-inclusive price. This includes your fishing license, your FMM, your fish processing, your round-trip airfare, all your food, all your fishing, pickup at your location, all-inclusive except for tips and your adult beverages. How much is the price?
The 3-day fishing one on Rick's trip, there's $1,950.
And that's a 5-day trip, 4 nights lodging, $1,950, but it's everything except tips and adult beverages.
Correct.
So pretty good deal.
Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go make it happen, man.
I want to go back again, man. I just got back. I want to go again. So if you want to go, you want to go with Rick, you want to hang out with Rick for 5 days down at one of the most beautiful spots on earth, CedrosAdventures.com. There you go.
Let's make it happen. Hey, we're going to jump right into the phones. They are jam-packed. Again, if you want to get your chance to get through, have your chance to talk to Jeff and also win those awesome brand-new Maui Jim World Cups with that mahi-mahi frame, 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. Let's talk to Tim, calling us from Pacific Beach this morning. Hi, Tim. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, fellas, thanks for taking my call. Yeah, you answered my question was originally about the chunk bait, and now you've answered it about 10 times, but it seems like the only way to go right now. Another question, is there any kind of free diving over, Jeff? Is there any kind of, can you get, or do you need to go on a boat and then say you wanted to do a little free diving over there? Is that possible, or is that?
No, absolutely. There's some guys that bring some spear guns down there and actually do some spear fishing.
Oh, you're allowed to bring that. You're legally allowed to bring a gun then, huh?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And spear guns are illegal in Mexico. It's not.
Oh, outstanding.
It's regular guns are not. And they bring them on the plane all the time, right?
Right. Just put them
not
in the
Hawaiian slings, but actual guns.
Actual full-on spear guns, you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I got to tell you, with the clear water there, it's got to be epic spear fishing.
The one thing I would try and maybe recommend, and you would know this better than I, Jeff, but if you're really wanting to go down there and free dive and shoot fish, is it best to get a group of 3 buddies together just for sake of ponga and things like that?
Exactly. That's what I'd recommend,
or 2, right?
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And pay a little extra for the ponga for just 2 of you. But 3 people per ponga. So, a lot of guys like to just fish bass. A lot of guys just like to fish the yellows down there. A lot of guys just like to dive. So what we try to do is get groups of 3 if guys could team up in groups of 3 so that everybody's on the same page and wanting to do the same things with the ponga.
And here's the thing, too. The group we were down there with, some of the guys wanted to fish 2 per boat. So they paid for an extra ponga, which is $250 for a day. So $125 a person, you could have 2 in a boat instead of 3 in a boat.
There you go.
So you could have an extra ponga.
Of course, we prefer to have that knowledge in advance to make sure that we got things scheduled and seamless.
Yeah, you just kind of pre-book it. So there you go, Tim. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right, let's jump right back into them. This time we're going to talk to Mike. He's calling us from Allied Gardens. Hi, Mike. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, great show. Wow. Hey, it looks like definitely El Nino, strong El Nino's forecast. And I talked to a gentleman who's in charge of the weather for the Navy and definitely confirmed that. So what is that doing to Cedros? And then the second question real quick is fishing off the kelp beds in Point Loma. If you could talk a little bit about that, what they're using for bait.
Well, I can answer the Cedros part, and I'll defer the Point Loma to the local knowledge here in front of me. With the El Nino conditions, obviously, in Cedros, we're experiencing some exotic catches there that we normally would not see, such as the Opa and marlin showing up here. We've seen sailfish in the past, but marlin and wahoo also starting to show down there. So.
Yeah, and as far as Point Loma goes, the fishing along the here's the weird thing about Point Loma. Point Loma and IB, too, Imperial Beach has been able to hold the kelp beds amazingly well through this warm water.
You're not kidding.
Normally, and you look up and down the coast, you look over San Clemente Island, Catalina Island, a lot of the kelp disappears during El Niños because the water gets too warm for the giant kelp. Point Loma, IB, even La Jolla, right? Still very, very healthy kelp beds.
I didn't even think about it until you just said it. You're absolutely right. I mean, we've had water 74, 75, 76, 77 degrees even on that kelp, and it's been fine. I don't know if that's because we, in addition to this hot water, we haven't had much in the way of big surge, big swell, big surf, and who knows? But you're absolutely right. Usually when the water is this hot, the kelp beds are not near as healthy.
And it still could happen. It still could happen in September and October because the warmer months are yet to come.
You're right.
You think about that. But the yellowtail fishing up and down the coast, IB, Point Loma, La Jolla, Del Mar, Oceanside, Barn Kelp, all the way up to Huntington Beach and Huntington Flats, the yellowtail fishing's off the charts. So if you want to go in the kelp beds, get a kelp cutter style rig with Power Pro line on it, and slow troll some mackerel and sardine, and hang on.
You're right that we often overlook how good that local fishing is. When the half day is catching 115 yellowfin, you forget. But there's some of the best yellowtail fishing we've had in years, and the quality is awesome. A thing that oftentimes when we have El Nino conditions is you'll see very good yellowtail fishing locally, but you get a lot of those little teeny guys, 3 to 5 to 7 pounders, and that's not the case. There's really good yellowtail fishing. It's all very nice quality right off the beach.
Yeah, indeed. Hope that helps you out. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. That does free up 877-792-1090. Open right now. I want to tell you about a new product on our store. In our store on our website, hookup1090.com, on our store shop page, you just click the little shop on the top, and we have a coffee mug. The Let's Talk Hookup coffee mug is now available on our store page at hookup1090.com. They're $7 a piece, or you get 4 for $21. So nice. $5.25 each for a set of 4 of our Let's Talk Hookup coffee mugs, and you can have a little style around the office or around the home with the Hookup logo on it.
I like it, man.
Check it out. It's on our store page, hookup1090.com. Also, check out the front page of our website. We have that new photo of the week up there, as well as the story about Whalers Cove Lodge that Carlos wrote. We talked about that, about our great trip to Whalers Cove Lodge. So check that out, our feature photo of the week. It's a nice Dorado that was caught on a trip that the gentleman won right here on Let's Talk Hookup aboard the Commander.
That's cool.
At a Fisherman's Landing. So check it out, hookup1090.com. Always a lot going on there.
All right. Well, hey, let's jump back into the phones. They're packed up. Rudy in Carlsbad, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Rudy, thanks for hanging in there with us.
Oh, gentlemen, my questions have been answered. The pickup point, would be, like my home and stuff like that, and the cost. And I did learn a couple of things from you guys, though. Chunks, round hooks for the tuna, straight hooks for the wahoo.
There you go.
Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right, how about next up we talk to Jeff. He's calling us from Huntington Beach. Hi, Jeff. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Oh, Jeff.
Hey, good morning, Rick, Pete, and another Jeff. Probably a common name on that island, huh?
Yeah.
Hefe.
Yeah, Hefe. That's what I thought. What do they actually call you? They call you Hefe. They never said that was actually a word. That was the boss, right?
Yeah, I've pretty much been dubbed that one El Jefe there.
What's your question, Jeff?
Yeah, I had a question about if you have, I think I recall talking to you at the Fred Hall show meeting, but there were mostly three-person rooms. Do you have any two-person rooms? If you want to.
They're two people per room. That's it.
Yeah.
Two people per room. 3 people per ponga.
Yeah. So 2 people per room, 3 people per ponga. But if you wanted to pay extra and let them know in advance, you could have a 2-person ponga too. But they're big pongas.
Yeah.
They're not little.
26 foot.
They're not the 22-footers you often see. They're 26-footers.
Right.
So they're big boats. Plenty of room for 3 people. Yeah, no question about it. But the rooms are super comfortable.
Yeah.
Air conditioned. A lot of them, 2 of the sets have common areas where you have TVs with videos. Excellent internet there.
Wi-Fi,
high-speed internet with no issues whatsoever.
Nice shower, good water pressure.
Yeah, great warm water,
good linens.
cold water. And they do your laundry for you for free. So and then you have to talk about the oceanfront dining room.
Yeah.
Like you're dining literally over the water.
I got to say, one of the most recent additions that my wife really appreciates is that laundry service.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's nothing better than coming home from a week-long fishing trip with a bag of clean clothes.
Yeah, right about it. Yeah, and we learned from Jeff from Cedros Tackle how good that halibut fishing is off the beach there. There's a stairway that leads you right down to the beach, right there, and you cast, maybe save a little strip mackerel from after the trip, and you want to go down there and try your chances, or you get there early on the first day, or you got the later flight on the later day. You get down there early in the morning and spend some time catching a giant halibut off the beach.
So rad.
Yeah, how about that? Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
Mo and Vista, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Hi, Mo.
Hey, how's it going?
Great.
I'm up here in Oregon right now, and for my brother's daughter's wedding, but I was calling Rick. Have you got those new flat falls in, 200 and 250?
When surprisingly enough, and it's almost crazy to say this, when I left the store yesterday, we did have some 200s and 250s. They came in that same day. However, with as popular as flat falls are, if I had to guess, I would think that they typically flat falls in our store last about a day. Like the same day we get them, we typically run back out of them, just because there are so many people that are going through the doors at Fisherman's Landing Tackle, going on the boats, that they oftentimes go away. But there has been a trickle of the big ones coming in, the 200 and the 250, in the glow-in-the-dark size, which has been like the most highly desirable of those big ones. So the only thing I can say is when I left yesterday at 6 o'clock in the evening, Mo, we did have them in stock on the wall.
There you go.
Okay. So the best thing just to call you and see if you get them in that day. Is that the thing to do? Then run down and get them?
Basically, with the flat falls are in such high demand, and they're out of ample stock from the shop, so little orders trickle in here and there. And yeah, I mean there's no regularity when you talk to the sales guys there at Shimano. They don't know the exact times that orders will be hitting the floor, so they basically just kind of trickle in. So yeah, that's kind of the thing to do. We probably get 6 to 10 phone calls a day, guys doing exactly what you're doing, just calling all the local shops and, hey, you guys have any in right now? And you call enough guys, you're going to find little trickles that hit one shop or another all the time.
So if you call the shop, will you hold a couple for Mo if he's coming down right now?
Yeah, I think honestly, if you were going to get some, you'd probably want to hold it with your credit card. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
It's kind of got to be a first come first serve kind of thing. But if you call, tell them with your credit card.
Give me your credit card. I'll come pick them up tomorrow. I've already purchased them. You'll set them aside.
That would be the ticket.
All right, there you go. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Appreciate that. I want to tell you about this week's edition of Western Outdoor News, loaded with yellowtail and loaded with tuna and some phenomenal fishing here in Southern California. Always good information, and the upcoming dove opener.
Yeah.
Coming up. You going?
Come on, man. I haven't missed one since I was 13. I'll be there.
That's it. And big bluefin tuna and more. Check it out, this week's edition of Western Outdoor News. You can subscribe, or better yet, just subscribe and pick it up at your local tackle store.
That's what I do. Read it every day, every time it comes in. I love the Western Outdoor News. Next up, Brian, Westminster. You're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. What's up, Brian?
Hey, good morning. Jeff, do you guys offer trips year-round, or is there some months where it's fishing you don't offer trips there at the island?
Currently, we run June through October. Now, if you had a group of 6 or more, it's a very high possibility we could be able to put something together for you into November, or if it's planned, a group of 12, plan it ahead of time, and we'd probably work something out.
But you
weather
run
permitting.
Trips through October.
Yeah, our schedule is June through October. Give us a call. We're very flexible in our way to accommodate.
There you go. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. That does free up for the first time a local line, 858-457-1090. You want to get through, there's your chance.
Doug in Montebello, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Hi, Doug.
Hi, I got a couple of questions here now. On the jigs, what these the typical iron, butterfly jigs, flatfall would work there? And two, what happened to the yellowtail offshore anyway?
Well, yeah, all that stuff will work at Cedros, just like it works here.
Yeah, I'm pretty stuck on the on my Salas jigs. I like that CP 105 for a yo-yo heavy iron, and the 7X old school blue and white. You can't beat that jig for nothing.
Salas 7X Light, without question, my favorite surface iron of all time, no doubt about it. Love it.
So,
and then as far as yellowtail offshore, they're still there, not in the quantity, but I think they've been pushed out by Dorado and yellowfin tuna.
I was going to say, the yellowfin fishing is just taking up your time. Most of that yellowfin that they're catching is on, when you get on a good school of yellowfin, it's long drifts, and you just occupy more of your time catching yellowfin. But the long range boats, I talked to my buddy Paul in the Royal Star last night. There's good yellowtail on kelps offshore. The yellowtail on the kelps offshore are still those real nice ones, 20-pounders, 25-pounders. So there are definitely still offshore yellows to be had, Doug. The fishing on tuna is just so good. That's been more of the focus.
Overpowering it all. There you go. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right. How about next up, we talk to another Jeff. It's the show of Jeffs. Jeff in Santee this morning. What's up, Jeff?
Yeah, hey, good morning, guys. Man, I'm really enjoying your show this morning. Quick question though, can you actually go on this trip, and if you don't have a lot of tackle? I mean, do you guys offer rods and reels and everything down there?
Yeah, well, Jeff Mariani, he called in a little earlier. I don't know if you had the opportunity to listen to him, but this year they've opened a tackle store, Cedros Tackle, and
right on the island.
Right on the island there, and I've personally rented a couple rods for some guests that I took down with me, and it was just top of the line equipment. They caught the big fish of the tournament there with the rental rod stuff. It's not your typical rental rod gear. It's good gear. And the tackle shop does have a good supply of any of the necessary tackle that you'd be using there on the island. So it's a win-win for everybody.
You could just come down with a little hand carry bag with a couple of sets of clothes in it, and go down there and rent and buy terminal tackle and rent the gear down there, and you're good.
Yep.
That'd be pretty cool.
It's pretty easy process.
I would feel comfortable going down there with the backpack, a little Seagar 50-pound fluorocarbon and some 6.0 circle hooks, one pack, and 4 or 5 Salas jigs, and be very confident I'm going to get it done traveling that light with being able to rent the rods down there now.
One thing I'll mention, though, you do need a passport.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure if you're going on Cedros Adventures, you do need a passport because you're flying. So cast passport. I'm not sure the passport card will work or not because you're flying. But
yeah, the passport card does work.
Does work, okay.
The card will not work if you're flying from LAX to Cabo.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But
it does work on the small plane.
Yeah, it's a Mexican airline.
Domestic flight.
Okay, it's a domestic.
Yeah, it's a domestic Mexican flight, yes.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
So you do fly out of TJ then?
Ensenada.
Oh, Ensenada.
Yeah, they take you down there, though, in a van, a very comfortable van. You go down with the group, They pick you up right in the States. You're in Santee. They'd have a kind of a central location. Hey, let's all meet at this place. Let's all meet at that place where they know where there's some parking or a good, easy drop-off point. And then you just jump in the van and load your gear and you're gone.
I'm telling you, Jeff, it is such a cool trip. If you enjoy yellowtail and calico bass, there is not a cooler experience than going on this trip.
It's turnkey.
There just isn't. Yeah.
You get there. Once you get
easy.
there, you don't have to think anymore. You just fish. Yeah, they do it all for you. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right. How about next up we talk to Dan. He's calling us from San Diego this morning. Hi, Dan. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. I got a quick question for you because I have a one-day trip coming up out of Seaforth, and I have a TLB 20 on a short rod with 40-pound mono, and I have a Torium 16 with 50-pound Power Pro Super Slick on a 9-foot rod, and I want to put a top shot of mono on for these yellowfin tuna. And I was wondering what pound test you recommended and how long of a top shot.
I would say 25 to 40 pound would be appropriate, and it sounds like you have two perfect rigs for that. I think right now I would do a 30 and a 40 just with as good as the fishing has. And the length of top shot is just going to depend on how much of that Power Pro Super Slick you have on the reel. Just fill it up to an appropriate level full. I mean, if you were starting from scratch, if you sport boat fish a lot, 100 feet is a pretty darn good length. It's still short enough that you get the advantage of the very little drag that your Spectro gives you going through the water, but you still have some stretch to, allow for not pulling hooks and getting tangles and that kind of stuff.
There you go. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out what lucky winner's got himself a brand new pair of Maui Jims. We got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the mighty 1090.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Padres.
Oh, right.
San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Mark your calendar for the big event. The Longfin in Orange is having their annual Customer Appreciation Day, Saturday, September 12th. It's their biggest sale ever, with over 20 manufacturer representatives setting up booths in the Longfin parking lot, all bringing unbelievable sale prices. Meet representatives from Shimano and Power Pro and take advantage of unheard savings on selected Shimano products, including Shimano rods and reels, G. Loomis rods, and Power Pro lines. See what's new from Shimano, like the Terramar Rod Series. Get tremendous savings on fresh and saltwater tackle from every manufacturer. Bring your reel and get it serviced for free with minimum purchase. Plus, you can win big in the raffle with hundreds of giveaways. Unbelievable prices for this one-day-only sale. Saturday, September 12th from 7 to 7 at the Longfin, 2730 East Chapman, just off the 55 freeway in Orange. For directions or more information, check out the website at thelongfin.com.
Are you feeling that itch to get out on the water? Come fishing on the American Angler and reacquaint yourself with some familiar faces and make new friends. Captain owners Brian Kiyohara and Sam Patella take pride in every aspect of the American Angler operation, from their loyal and trusted crew to the sashimi-grade fresh fish you'll take home. It's easy to find a vacation that fits your schedule. We have everything from day and a half to 10-day trips and longer. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. We want you to become a part of the American Angler family.
My Angler H2O. I will scent my lure with pride and hope my boss doesn't notice the tan. I will outmaneuver drought-exposed sunken boats and outlast the hard-fighting largemouth bass. I will save water at home for better fishing out here, and always wear my life jacket.
What's your H2O? Tell us at BoatCalifornia.com. The California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways reminds you to wear it, California.
No matter the fishing conditions, count on the Seaguar family of fluorocarbon leader material to help you catch more fish. Fluoro Premier has a smaller diameter with the highest break strength. Plus, it is super soft. When bites are tough, tie on Fluoro Premier. Blue Label is tough as nails with incredible abrasion resistance and impact strength. And new Pink Label is the choice for tough light conditions, giving you a little more visibility for better line control. Pick up a spool of Seaguar at your favorite tackle dealer or visit Seaguar.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090, right? The big winner of a brand new pair of Maui Jims in that brand new Mahi Mahi frame with that great Maui HT lens, a rad combination from Maui Jim. Going to Mo in Vista. Mo, congratulations. And if you weren't the winner of those cool glasses, like Pete said earlier in the show, head on down to Dana Landing. They have all of that brand new fish-themed frames, some very cool color lens and frame combinations.
They're so cool. I mean, Maui Jim is just a leader. They are just knocking it out of the park.
Best glasses on the water for sure.
No doubt about it. Hey, Jeff, Cedros Adventures, once again, Rick's trip has 5 spots available. Leaves Labor Day Monday, the 7th, and then comes back Friday, right?
Yep, that's it. So jump on, give me a call, give Rich a call and email us. Rich is also there at the Long Beach Rod and Gun Club swap meet there at 3333 Pacific. Go by, see him. We're out of time here, but he'll be happy to answer any other questions.
Little booth set up to answer Cedros questions.
You got it.
And if you want to go check it out, you want to see the experience, our new on our YouTube page, YouTube channel, Let's Talk Hookup Radio Show. I did a little video of our trip in July there. Kind of gives you the essence of a trip to Cedros Adventures and why you want to go to Cedros Adventures and not the other guy.
That's a beautiful video, Pete. You did that all by yourself?
Experience. I'm not a pro, but I'm learning. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, you want to go on Rick's trip or any trips. We'll also have some dates for 2016 for you soon. CedrosAdventures.com. Just check it out and go, and it's a great experience. We highly recommend it. You will really enjoy it for sure. And thanks a lot, Jeff, for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me back, guys.
And you're going to the Padre game tonight.
You betcha.
All right, go Padres. There
go
you go.
Padres.
And we'll be back tomorrow morning, 7 and 9 a.m., right back here in the Mighty 1090 studio. I want to thank Adam for controlling both the board and the phones today. Thank you, Adam. You did a great job there. And we'll all be back tomorrow morning with Captain Tim Ekstrom, who is literally unloading the boat right now at the Royal Star at Fisherman's Landing. So he'll be in the studio with us tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m. Stay tuned. Delmar Saturday with Scott Kaplan is next. Thanks, Scotty.